Filipino Tzu Chis learn about filial piety and vegetarianism concepts in the life camp. Malaysian Tzu Chis conquer physical challenges to withstand the sutra adaptation. Welcome to Diet Headlines. I'm Maggie Tai. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines have held the second Tzu Chi Youth Still Thoughts Life Camp in the Great Love Village in Ormoc City. There were 130 Tzu Chis joining the camp to learn to practice filial piety and embrace vegetarianism.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Ormoc City held the second Tzu Chi Youth Still Thoughts Life Camp. The local Tzu Chis have shouldered the organization work, while the local volunteers were responsible for preparing the food for the participants. They went to the market early in the morning to buy food ingredients for the meals, hoping the participants will have full energy to complete the two-day activities.
We hope that the kids will enjoy the food we prepare because we really put in effort for it.
This time, there were 130 youths joining the camp. A Tzu Chi, Jefferson Foliante brought along a Hello Kitty corn bank.
When I save a peso every day in the bamboo bank, I have found the happiness of helping the people who are in need. This is also what I've always been looking for.
Apart from encouraging everybody to do good deeds, the participants were also reminded to be considerate to their parents through videos. Being adolescents, they deeply regretted to have conflicts with their parents. Some of them wrote letters to express their apologies, while most of the others embraced their mother at the venue and cried.
I'm very happy because he has learned a lot from this camp.
However, the most touching moment is this.
Your mother has been waiting outside except lunchtime to give you this birthday cake. What would you like to tell your mother?
Feeling loved has made them more willing to give. Everyone raised their hands to support vegetarianism.
When we eat meat, we are taking away a life. We need to respect animals because they are living beings too, just like us who want to live.
The two-day camp has planted seed of love in every participant's heart, hoping to change their lifestyle in future.
Every year, Cambodia Tzu Chi volunteers invite Tzu Chi volunteers from Taiwan or Singapore to the country to give thanks to newly recruited volunteers. Recently, they held another training sessions for 46 trainees who would join Tzu Chi in Cambodia.
We want to inspire everyone's heart. If your heart is touched, you will want to do things beneficial to everyone, to help other people.
In this volunteer training course for new members of the Cambodia Tzu Chi office, Singapore Tzu Chi volunteers were invited to talk about the origins of the four missions and the manners volunteers must follow.
I'm wearing this uniform, but I didn't know what the uniform means. But today we have sisters from Singapore teaching us, so I know that Tzu Chi uniform is very meaningful.
Tzu Chi is 53 years old, so it is important to have proper ethic. Every volunteer is needed to pass on love and warmth to the public.
When we hold a distribution, we don't just give them goods. Why not? Because this won't have any warmth, and they would just receive goods from us. We want to give them our gratitude and respect, so they won't just receive food from us, but also spiritual warmth.
In addition to these lectures, everyone shares their experiences doing charitable work.
I've given talks here several times, but I have never seen so many students. This is the largest number today. When I heard them sharing their experiences, I also felt they were indeed learning very diligently, so I feel fortunate to come here.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Cambodia have done well to cultivate the Tzu Chi spirit, as many more people will join in the future.
In China, Tzu Chi volunteers visited the care recipients in various places, hoping to bring them love and care and give them the strength to live. Regular visits by volunteers have also significantly improved their lives. Let's take a look.
74-year-old Mr. Zhong, who is mentally challenged and hard of hearing, does not trust in people. But when he sees the Tzu Chi volunteer, he actively takes his hand and is even willing to let the volunteers clean his messy room. After the volunteers lifted open the quilt, they found the eggs that had been hidden for a long time. After sweeping the ground, the volunteers helped the senior change bedsheets and cut his nails. Entrepreneur Wu Guoqiang, who has joined the cleanup efforts for the first time, is deeply impressed.
He was touched by our care for him, so he allowed us to clean his room with him. Later, we cleaned up his room.
The senior smiles when her son practices filial piety to her. Changsha Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for Shimen County for many years. Before the winter arrives, the volunteers go door to door to conduct home visitations. They treat the seniors just like their own children.
By helping others, I can also obtain happiness, and other people receive my care. I also feel very happy too.
Since last year, Shimen has broken free from the shackles of poverty in China, but the volunteers are still concerned about the seniors who live in difficult lives. During the visits, the volunteers deliver peace charms to the seniors and chat with them, hoping to provide them companionship and love. In Hunan, 81-year-old Ma lives with Zhou Guiqin, a daughter who could not take care of herself. Every time Tzu Chi volunteers come to deliver supplies, they help the daughter as well.
Every time you visit me, giving me much help. You help my daughter with cutting hair and take a bath. It's very helpful.
After taking a bath, Guiqin feels comfortable. A volunteer, Chen Liuhua, helps spoon-feed her water, in a way fulfilling her filial piety to her grandmother here, as her own grandmother is no longer here.
My grandmother was very good to me in my childhood. She has passed away early. I didn't fulfill my filial piety in time for her. I treat her as my own elderly.
Turning to the scene to Wu family's house, this time Tzu Chi volunteers brought the bed that the grandpa always wanted to give to his wife. Before the new bed moved in, everyone carefully cleans the room.
I don't think that you would bring such a high-class bed. It felt very comfortable. You care about me. I am touched.
The new bed was especially created by the furniture store for the grandpa. Thanks to volunteer Luo Shoulin, it makes grandpa feel warm. Before heading home, the volunteers hold Grandpa Wu's hand and give him encouragement, shows that the love between them will be last forever.
Malaysian Tzu Chis from Johor Bahru participated in the sutra adaptation of profound gratitude to parents' performance. In the past few months of rehearsal, the onstage volunteers had to endure long practices each week, which not only tested their strength but also endurance. Let's see how they conquer some of their physical challenges.
Standing for long periods of time and straining her muscles is difficult for Chong Xiaomin to maintain, as she has asthma as well as epilepsy.
I'm afraid a seizure might occur when I'm tired from practicing and when drumming takes up a lot of energy, or when movements are bigger and practice time is longer, I'll be out of breath. So I'll take time to decide and take a shot of my inhaler and try to relax.
There is no warning sign when she has an attack. She doesn't know what triggers it. She had a drop before, but I told her to quit, just be a volunteer and to join the sutra adaptation performance.
As Chong plans to study abroad in Taiwan soon, she can't bear to say goodbye to her grandmother.
最令我最印象深刻是有一句经文是《亲里面的受病魔父。
One of the verses in the family section of the sutra talks about how when a child is sick, the parents worry. Even if themselves are sick, they put their children first. It really left an impression on me, as that's what my family does for me. I also want to apologize to my grandmother because I always show her my worst temper. But she always accepts me. She teaches me how to better myself, so I want to say thank you.
所以我要跟他讲，我要讲谢谢。
Another onstage volunteer that is plagued with illness but determined to join the performance is Wang Zhiyun. Wang suffers from lupus and also needs anticoagulants.
This is for my lupus, and this is vitamin D because I can't be in the sun. I need vitamins to supplement that.
他8岁的时候就被诊断有红斑狼疮，他开始就是手跟。
When she was 8, she was diagnosed with lupus. In the beginning, she couldn't control her hands and feet, and she also suffered attacks which took us to the hospital.
还有一个病就是抗凝血症。他抗凝血症就是说他的血液会走到某个地方。
She also needs anticoagulants to prevent blood clots, as if a clot happens in the brain, then it can cause a stroke. She needs to rest and get plenty of sleep, eat less salty food and exercise.
饮食要比较清淡，然后要做一些运动。
After joining the sutra adaptation of profound gratitude to parents, Wang is even more understanding of the difficulties of being her mother.
我们手语有比较是左肩担腹。
There's a part of the sutra where it says, parents are worried about their children's every move, and when the child bleeds, it's like the parents bleed. It really resonated with me. My health hasn't always been the best, but my mother gives me the best care even if she's tired, so I'm really grateful to her.
就是很感恩他。
In order to comply with the regulations of the Malaysian Health Authority, the Tzu Chi Free Clinic in Sentosa, Malaysia has undergone a hardware upgrade since the beginning of this year. It was recently completed and reopened on August 24th. In addition to serve neighboring and low-income residents, it also works with UNHCR to extend its medical services to refugees stranded in Malaysia so that they can have one more place for medical treatment.
Tzu Chi Free Clinic, located in Sentosa, Klang, Malaysia, was established in 2003 and has been in service for 16 years already.
The income of the people living here is relatively low. Because of this, we Tzu Chi have established a free clinic here with an aim to help the impoverished people to receive medical treatment.
In the beginning of this year, the free clinic began to rebuild. In addition to providing general services, dentistry, psychological counseling, and physiotherapy, its service targets will also be expanded.
All clergy, Tzu Chi caregivers, the people with OKU disability card and refugees can come to enjoy this free service.
Tzu Chi has not been concerned about refugee issues. With the increase in the number of refugees in the Klang area, the free clinic will improve the quality of medical services.
I feel extremely privileged to have an opportunity to see how Tzu Chi has managed not only to run a very commendable clinic that covers a broad range of issues, also encompasses psychosocial welfare and health and support, but also many other issues.
I see many faculty in your, especially dental faculty and your physiotherapy is there. Very excellent services you provide. You provide the refugee refugee have a no status, but you provide a very great status. Our all religious as a equal education. We are based on the humanity. What you say, it's actually what you at your act.
In the past, the refugees were only able to consult a doctor at an outdoor temporary clinic once a month. As a free clinic has reopened, the number of visits has increased to 4 times a week.
Dongguan Tzu Chi volunteers regularly visit the seniors at the Sandong nursing home, but there they also collect and store recyclables together. An activity that gets the seniors moving and also helping the planet, as the seniors know the money made from selling the recyclables is put to good use, helping the needy.
It's once again time for Tzu Chi volunteers to pay a visit to the residents at the Sandong nursing home and sort recyclables. Volunteers also share with the seniors on how to reduce their carbon footprint.
5寶係乜嘢知唔知道？唔知。手巾1寶。嗱，你手上呢寶係乜嘢嚟㗎？手巾啦。手巾嗱，第1寶、第2寶。正啊嘛。大兜啊。係啦，仲有大碗、大筷，仲有個袋，冇錯啦，兩寶袋。
While shooting the breeze, volunteers share how Lianping County suffered massive flooding back in June, and these seniors' actions have helped them.
This place experienced 4-meter-high floods. It began at 9 a.m. and receded at 5 p.m. Look at the items we gave them. It was purchased with the money from selling the recyclables you guys help collect and sort. It's now being put to good use. You've done your share to help, did you know?
Besides the bottles and cans, a senior also donated a household appliance to Tzu Chi.
She said she's moved by all that Tzu Chi has done. This TV is just sitting at home, so she wanted to donate it to us, for us to recycle and use the money to help the needy.
This large truck full of recyclables is the result of these seniors' hard work. Together, they have helped reverse global warming.
The 9/21 earthquake caused many houses to collapse. From historical data analysis, cutting corners on construction was a major reason for the disaster, as Taiwan's past building codes and regulations were insufficient. In 1999, new buildings laws giving buildings considerably earthquake resistance, and each year earthquake resistance requirements have become more stringent, safeguarding the lives and property of the people.
The earthquake that day was like this. Because I live in building A and this is building C, it was shaking like this up and down, then it collapsed.
Going to this community, Li Guoming is a resident affected by the 9/21 earthquake, witnessed the collapse of this 12-story building. He saw the collapse from the second floor and leaning against the other building as this disaster killed 43 people and injured more than 130 people. Li Guoming believes that the earthquake is in part a natural disaster, but also the responsibility of the builders.
Before 9/21 earthquake, the mixed soil strength regulations are more than 3,000 tons, but it was from 700 to 2,700 tons, as no one met these qualifications, as they definitely cut corners.
In addition to the lack of strength of the soil, the beams and columns lack rebar. As residents sued the builder, it was finally complete in 2004 in the name of urban renewal. After the 9/21 earthquake, the first reconstructed residential building was completed. However, a similar incident occurred due to the Meinong earthquake on February 6, 2016. Just after the Lunar New Year, a magnitude 6.4 earthquake caused the Weiguan Jinlong building to collapse, with 115 people killed. The prosecution investigated and found the structure of the building was incorrectly designed, coupled with serious cost-cutting in construction, drastically reduced the seismic resistance of the building. To build a building model similar to the Weiguan Jinlong building, the Tainan National Center for Earthquake Earthquake Engineering Research Laboratory used a seismic simulation shaker to conduct large-scale structural experiments in cooperation with New Zealand and Indian experts.
8米乘8米的一个振动台，那这座振动台最大的特性就是它。
This 8 meter by 8 meter vibrating machine can achieve a very large amplitude and very high speed, so it can simulate the speed and pulse near the fault.
This white building, because of problems with the structure of the building, the first floor of the pillars and the compartments are small, forming a so-called soft-footed situation, with the building being top-heavy. Once it encounters a strong earthquake, it may lead to an unavoidable disaster.
The walls suddenly start to bear a lot of pressure, with all the damage concentrated on the first floor, making it easy for the building to collapse.
If we want to prevent the tragedy from happening again, the people must be alert and the government must do something. The 9/21 earthquake has urged the seismic design specifications of Taiwan buildings to be raised to a level 6 earthquake or above.
当时的法规标准是比较低的。
The regulatory standards at that time were relatively low. The location of faults and other aspects, such as resisting earthquakes, have all been greatly increased.
Really, we also think that houses built after the 9/21 earthquake are safer. The quality of the entire construction is supervised. Therefore, the construction quality is indeed better. The third is that people really feel it. Safety during earthquakes is very important, so when buying a house, they pay attention to this matter, and our government administrative system has improved. Learning from disaster and searching for the root of the problem has meant that the measurement and design of new buildings and public facilities need to be more carefully evaluated and integrated with new technologies. The design of hands coming together symbolizes the blessing for Taiwan. This is the Nanshan Plaza in Xinyi District, Taipei. It's 272 meters high and is the second tallest building in Taipei. However, Taiwan's earthquakes and typhoons are frequent, and safety has become the most important consideration for skyscrapers.
For our earthquake regulations, you should consider the practicality of the earthquake considerations to improve the design of the earthquake. 25% or 240 gal is suitable for an earthquake level 5. Then we will increase the 25% to become 300 gal, and this can withstand level 6 earthquake.
The foundation for high-rises should be stable and suitable, as Nanshan Plaza is equipped with 2 sets of 250-ton dampers on the 44th floor. Through the simple model, the damper appears like a big ball and the building's vibration will quickly drop.
Probably, this is the largest ability to withstand an earthquake force that I have designed. It has a 1 in 3 chance of resisting an earthquake, which strikes 1 in 475 years. When the building goes to the left, the damper sways to the right, pulling the building back. If a normal building needs 3 minutes to come to a rest, this type of building can do it between 45 seconds to 1 minute.
After the designers and structural engineers worked together, Nanshan Plaza has obtained an earthquake-resistant seal certification. However, there are a few such examples in Taiwan. Architects bluntly said that Taiwan's architectural laws should be adjusted and fully implement a third-party supervision system to improve security.
The person who is sent to do the supervision is a general engineer. He has to manage a lot of things. When there is resistance in execution, he may not be so insistent.
Building safety has a lot to do with the social conscience of an organization. Architects or structural engineers may seek short-term benefit and abandon your professional ethics for the sake of money, which may end up costing lives.
Team Canada chapter offer acupoint herbal therapy to Dharma masters at the Chamshan Temple to safeguard their health. We'll leave you with these images and thank you for joining us. Goodbye.